Hello and welcome to this new session on Google Forms. In this video we're going to see how to create a Google form with a conditional flow. Usually when you see a Google form, it is very simple and it goes to the next question, then there is a submit button. But sometimes we have a requirement that we want to show some questions based on the response. And we're going to see how to create a Google form with a conditional flow of questions. Based on the choice of the answer, different option will be displayed to the user. So here we are going to create an email, collect the email and details of the residents of a building. So the residents of a building could be an owner or he could be a tenant. So when he selects as the owner and goes next, then the questions that will be displayed will be different, and for the tenant also the questions will be different. And let's see how to accomplish it. So here I have a demo of the final form, how it's going to look like. So once they click on the link of the form, this is the form it will be displayed. Let me say the flat number and I will say I am the owner and I'll go next, and we can see the owner details is displayed, and there could be a primary owner and also a secondary owner of an apartment. So we have these two things. Then we are seeing the submit button, but there are two more questions which will be displayed when you select a tenant. So if you select I am a tenant and go next, it's going to appear as tenant details, and if you go next it will be the secondary tenant details. So this is the way the form is displayed differently to different people. Now let us see how we can create this form, right? So we'll go back to the folder and we will say create a blank form, and we're going to call it as conditional form, okay, or we can say contact details. So first thing is we're going to collect the name of the person, which will be automatically depending on this. Google decided that will be short answer. Then we go to a next and we select multiple choice, and so we'll say owner, or we can say as tenant, right? Or we can say, to be more specific, I am an owner, I am a tenant. And then here is a button that says add section, and we're going to add a section here. Okay, so this add section option is going to make our form look very simple and easy to use. So we'll say owner section, owner details rather, and we'll say this is the primary owner's details, and we want to collect the name, the email, and the phone number of the person who is the primary owner. Then we're going to add another section, and we'll name this as owner section or owner details, secondary owner, and little bit of description. And we're going to add the same questions: name, email, and phone, right? Now we are going to add another section for the tenants. and we are going to repeat a little bit: name, email, phone, and we're going to add another section, and we're going to name it as okay. So now we are almost done. We're going to see a preview of the form, how it looks like once we are completed, and this is our form which is completed. So as we know, we go to send and we click on the link. If we want, we can shorten the URL, and let's take a preview of the form, right? So if I send this link to everyone, so suppose they enter the name and owner, they see the owner details and go next, owner details and go next, then they see tenant details as well, and then next, then they will see secondary tenant, then only they will see the submit button. But this is little annoying because owner may not want to see the tenant details. So in that case, what can be done here, right? So we go to this question, and there is 3 dots over here where we want the main radio button that selects our answer. Click on this and say go to section based on answer. I am the owner, then continue to the next section, and if you select I am the tenant, we go to section 4, tenant detail. So once it is done, it is going to the tenant section, and in the tenant section here, now there will be a small problem. Still there will be a problem if we go to the preview of this Google form. Suppose I'm going to select I'm an owner and enter the details here. Imagine to enter the details here. I'm not getting the submit button, although I have filled the secondary owner's details. I am going to still go through the flow, complete flow of the form. We don't definitely want that. So what we need to do is, when this question of secondary owner is completed, select this check box, select this drop list that says submit the form. Okay, so now see, the behavior might have changed. If we go next, enter the detail of the primary owner, secondary owner, and submit button is appearing. Now let's check for the tenant. Next, tenant details primary, tenant details secondary, and then there is the submit button. So this is the way that we can design a form to follow the flow based on the selection of a conditional question, and we can show the submit button wherever we want by selecting this particular option. Suppose your form has multiple sections, we can go from one section to another section also based on the selection of the answers. And let us see how to collect the responses. So if you go to responses, it is if you want to disable collecting response of any form, you can in future, suppose you decide to stop collecting responses to a form, you can stop the collection details, and you can download the responses. You can get an email notification for new responses. But this is the button where we can create a new spreadsheet, okay, or we can select an existing spreadsheet for our destination. So let us say create a new spreadsheet. Then as we can see here, the new spreadsheet was created, and whatever information we'll enter in this form is going to come and sit in this particular Google Sheet, right? Going forward, we're going to see how to update this Google Sheet based on the different questions using the scripting mechanism as well. So that is it for this lecture here, and in this video we saw how we can create a very useful flow based on the response from the user. Thank you very much for watching the video, and keep continuing watching the next lecture for more insights into Google Form. Thank you and have a great day.